so some time ago, and by some time ago I mean the land of 2013, there was this popular tag known as the book Scavenger hunt tag, and because I'm nostalgic and have no other ideas for videos to film, well I do, they're just complicated and require me taking lots of notes and shit, and I'm like, nah. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I tried to position my camera so that it could include both my bookshelves, but I didn't do a great job of it because now you can't see anything down there because there's like 4 shelves after this one, and I'm going to get a 3rd bookshelf in about a week or so, so we'll see how that camera thing goes then. Number 1, find a author with the last name Z or a book with Z in the title. How's the Maze Runner for you? I think everybody's recently heard of this one. I still have yet to read this one. We're getting there, guys. It's slow. I read some of it. I read up to chapter 5, and I was confused AF, and I was like, what? So I put it back. But I'll read it one day. Probably also because I just want to see Dylan O'Brien in a movie. Number 2, find a classic. Now, I don't know what you define as classic. The Wizard of Oz. Now, you may be wondering, there's another Wizard of Oz than this, too. There's 2 of them. This is the whole entire story of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. This, no, don't know if you know this, but The Wizard of Oz was originally a book divided into chapters that was apparently this big, which is like effing huge. And you may be wondering, why do I own these? It's because I have no self-control and I hate myself and I like to spend lots of money on books I will never, ever, ever read. Find a book with a key on it. I have no idea of any book with a key on it. That'll be fun. Update. So I own nothing with a key on it. Cool. Challenge 3, and we're already disqualified. Closest thing I have is Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. It has his key lock on the cover. That's all I got for you, folks. Number 4, find something on your bookshelf that is not a book. Easy. Flowers. The oldest book on your bookshelf. I think this is it. Not quite sure. The first Harry Potter. Yes, this is the first Harry Potter edition, as in, the edition when it came out in like the 90s. Find a book with a girl on the cover. Born at Midnight. That is Kylie from the story. Find a book that has an animal in it. The Bane Chronicles. Jim and Meow. Find a book with a male protagonist. The Lost Hero. Percy Jackson. Pretty sure that counts. Find a book with only words on it. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. There's like colors and things, but there's no picture. It's I'll Give You the Sun. Find a book with illustrations in it, aka graphic novels. The Legend graphic novel. Yeah. It's Legend told as a graphic novel. It's kind of a graphic novel, so it all has pictures in it. Find a book with gold lettering. I again assume you mean on the title. The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan, the final book of the Heroes of Olympus series. Find a diary, true or fictional. So I don't have a diary. Don't have a book that's a diary. And I don't know if I ever had a diary. I want to say I did. But see, when I moved to my house, I didn't unpack like 2/3 of my things, so it's buried in my closet or under my bed somewhere. So put in fictional blue cover diary here and you'll have it. Call it a journal, guys, it's cooler. Find a book written by an author with a common last name, example Smith. The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. Do I get bonus points for that being actually Smith, like the example? Find a book that has a close-up of something on it. Okay, define close-up, like a picture of one item, or like close-up, like you can't even tell it's a feather because it's so close up. I'm going to go with Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is clearly, if you don't know this, guys, this was a landline. It was plugged into a wall. You couldn't take it with you outside. It's not a cell phone. They're traumatizing. But as you can see, it's a close-up of it. Find a book on your bookshelf that takes place in the earliest time period. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, aka the Infernal Devices series. Now, define take place, because this one takes place in 1878. I have some books that take place in earlier time, but it's never documented, so you're just like, I think this is the time of the Vikings. I have other books that, like, the main character is a vampire, and he was alive in, like, 1460, but it doesn't take place in 1460, it takes place in 2009, so take place-wise, I'm gonna go with Clockwork Princess, because you have the documented 1878 Victorian era thing. Find a hardcover book without a jacket. Now this is probably impossible, because unless it looks brand new, I don't buy it. I guess this qualifies, because this is the closest thing I had to not a dust jacket. This is sad to me, but it's a library edition, aka a turtleback edition, and it's like this is like the cover. There's no jacket, but it is hardcover, so closest thing I got. Find a teal turquoise book cover. Is it bad that it took a moment for me to remember what teal was? Glass Sword by Stephen Jackson. This is teal. Is basically best thing I got for you guys. It's teal. If you don't think it's teal, check your saturation. Your screen's off. Find a book with stars on it. Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I don't know which bit my star is like plural, but there's a star right here and like one on the cover. It has stars on it, guys. We're fine. The final one I have to find is a non-YA young adult book. I'm unsure about their qualifications, but if they all qualify, that's just more points for me. Bonus. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Now, I know this has been in the hype recently, and it just concluded and as a trilogy with its continuation of another trilogy announcement. It's about this guy who betrays this guy and gets revenge or something like that. I don't really know. But this is not in the YA section. This is for adults. So, like, even though everybody talks about YA, it's not actually YA. So, we're just gonna it's not YA. Nope. Next, I have The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraiths. We're getting there, guys, with the names. Also known as J.K. Rowling. Don't know if you remember this. She turned her name into a man to see how many books she could sell, like, without J.K. Rowling being on the cover. I don't know a single thing about this. I just know that it's really definitely not YA. I'm Annalyse. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and I'm just gonna go rearrange my room now that I've destroyed it with books. Bye!